75 years.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here this evening. We do begin with news shaking up Utah politics. Utah Congressman Chris Stewart saying he's resigning from office.
We first learned he was planning to announce his resignation yesterday. This morning, he's making it official. He shared the announcement on Twitter saying this: "It has been one of the great honors of my life to serve the good people of Utah in Congress. I can say with pride that I have been an effective leader for my beloved home state, but my wife's health concerns have made it necessary that I retire from Congress after an orderly transition can be ensured."
Well, Representative Chris Stewart was first elected to serve in Utah's 2nd Congressional District back in 2012. He cruised to victory in races for 5 additional terms.
Stewart has been an advocate for internet privacy, banning flavored e-cigarettes, and banning youth from social media platforms, among many other issues. Perhaps his greatest accomplishment is leading a bipartisan effort to create the 988 National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Anywhere in the country, you call 988 and you're going to immediately be talking to someone who is trained and professional and is going to be able to help you.
The representative, also known as a defender of former President Donald Trump, voting twice against impeaching the embattled president. Before making a run for Congress, Stewart served as the CEO of Shipley Group. He served as a record-breaking pilot for the U.S. Air Force from 1984 to 1998. He holds 3 world speed records, including the world record for the fastest non-stop flight around the world. And he is the author of 17 books.
Several of Utah's political leaders are responding to Stewart's announcement today. Utah Senator Mitt Romney releasing a statement saying, in part, quote, "He has been a terrific partner on advancing Utah priorities, advocating for greater local input in public lands management and legislation to protect the Great Salt Lake. Ann and I are praying for Chris, Evie, and the Stewart family." Utah Governor Spencer Cox also responding to the news on Twitter today, saying in part, quote, "The Representative Chris Stewart is an exceptional American, effective conservative voice and good friend. We're grateful for his considerable leadership. We honor his service and wish him and his family all the best."
Representative Chris Stewart serving in Utah's 2nd Congressional District. You can see that area outlined in the map right here. During his nearly or more than a decade in Congress, he represented hundreds of thousands of Utahns.
Yes. Now, our Nate Larson was out talking to his constituents in Salt Lake City today about what Stewart's service really meant to them. Nate?
Yeah, Emily. So we're out here at Sugar House Park, which is part of the 2nd Congressional District, talking with some of those voters about how they feel about the news of his retiring early. We found several people that were praising him for his successes that he's had while in his leadership roles in Congress. Voters who spoke with us were all very compassionate towards Representative Stewart's reason for retiring early.
He's a veteran. I'm a veteran myself, and so yeah, I think he's done a lot for our country. So what a great guy.
I think that an elected official should serve their term when they're elected. I think that they do a lot to get elected, and I think the people trust them for that. But I also think that if it's family issues, I don't know what to do about that, and you just wish her the best and a healthy recovery. But yeah.
I wish him well, and his reasons for putting family as his priority are certainly legit.
His top individual supporter and longtime friend Larry Cox writes, "Rarely does someone come along who is so well schooled to be a congressman as Chris Stewart. His military experience, business experience, and commitment to social and family values made him ideal to represent Utahns and all Americans. His early departure from the House would be a serious loss to our country. His calm style and commitment to fair treatment for all are exactly the characteristics we need in government right now. I hope that if his situation becomes resolved, he can return to the Congress in some capacity." Others say he's been instrumental for the state of Utah, but also for the nation as a whole.
I think his absence will be felt, and so I hope that there's a great plan for his replacement, and I'm sure that there's a lot of rising stars in Utah that will be able to take over his position and do it really well.
The people decide, and whoever it is, all the best. A lot of challenges, right now in the state, and so keeping an open mind and progressing and making sure that we keep the quality of life here what it should be.
I don't know what's going to happen with the GOP in Utah, but I'm hopeful that we'll find someone that will replace Congressman Stewart do just as great of a job.
Now, voters that we spoke with who did not support Representative Stewart declined to go on camera, but even they are wishing him and his family well for whatever health care concerns that they're going to be dealing with right now. Live in Sugar House Park, I'm Nate Larson. Back to you.
Nate, thank you. The natural question now is what happens next? And the answer is complicated, but it boils down to a special election. Within 7 days of receiving his resignation date, the governor's office has to call for a special election. That election would have to fall on the date of a pre-existing vote, which in this case is March 5th of next year for the potential general election. Now, unless the legislature convenes to designate a new day. From there, political parties would have up to 28 days to nominate candidates.
This will be the very first test of the legislation that was just passed in 2020 that has become the law. And it is interesting to see how this may play out, particularly considering the timing of this announcement.
So once Congressman Stewart says which day he'll step down, that process will kick off. This will be the first congressional special election in Utah since 2017, when Representative Jason Chaffetz of Utah's 3rd congressional district resigned. Stick with ABC4 News for continuing coverage of Congressman Stewart's resignation. We'll be following the story as it unfolds, and we'll bring you all of the very latest information here on air and online, abc4.com.
Okay, in a weather alert now, Utah County declaring a state of emergency today, saying that they're dealing with $10 million worth of flooding damage. So here's a look at some of that damage at Lehigh Elementary School just last week. The county is saying they set aside $2 million for flooding expenses in this year's budget, but they've blown through that already, saying they're dealing with more than $10 million in flood damages, but now they'll be able to apply for state and federal funding.
Turning now to a first look at the weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy. I'm just going to say it. She's been gone and it was calm.
She's bringing all the activity back.
The storms return. What's the deal with that?
We like all the activity, Alana.
If you didn't know I was the storm, Glenn, then
that's what I'm starting to put together.
I am not the one you run from. I'm the one you chase. Okay, guys. So yeah, we've got a couple storms out there, and yes, we've got active skies. They have returned. I know there were a few calm days with above average temperatures, a thing of the past now. We start with that live view from the ABC4 studios, where you can see storm clouds overhead. The breeze is blowing our flag there, our Colonial Flag Tower camera just showing off those skies. Now, it's interesting today because we have these storms coming through, but they're moving in a different direction. They're tracking west, which we typically don't see, and that's because of an area of low pressure that is overhead. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we've seen all this activity really bubbling up west of I-15. We zoom on in here. Seeing some lightning over in the West Desert, getting a little closer so you can see south of I-80 towards Tooele County into the Rush Valley. And as we head a little further south, a lot of that activity, as I mentioned, on the western end of 15 towards Delta, Millard County, some lightning out there. We do see some activity, echoes of moisture towards Salina, Beaver County, and Richfield. And as we head further south, so you get a pretty good idea, Washington County and Enterprise getting just a little bit of lightning right now. Now, the biggest threat from these storms, gusty winds, but that is going to change as we get through the next couple of days. Let's take a look at the SPC. I'll show you where we were expecting those storms today. Drier air holding on for a portion in the low levels for this part of Utah, Castle Country and south, but we saw that general thunderstorm threat. That is going to change as we head into tomorrow. The entire region looks at the potential for those storms, temperatures sitting in the 70s, and flash flood potential returns. That'll give you an idea. Right now it's Zion and Bryce that could see the possibility, but that lets you know heavy rain on the way. I've got the timing and what to expect coming up in my full forecast in just a few moments. Glenn, Emily, back to you.
All right, Alana, we thank you. Well, a couple from Layton is thankful for the heroic actions of strangers who prevented tragedy from happening on the eve of their 42nd wedding anniversary.
ABC4 Northern Utah correspondent Kate Gardner with that story.
Mr. Bartling decided to spend his Memorial Day out here on Adams Canyon Trail. While he was hiking, he lost his balance, slipped, and fell into the freezing water below, which is currently less than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, he says he couldn't get out of the water, but luckily for him, a group of strangers rushed to his side and helped pull him out.
Barney Bartling is still sore and scraped after his accident, but filled with appreciation and love for his rescuers. He says when he fell in, the water pinned him against a rock, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get up. One man jumped in and pulled him out. From there, Bartling says it seems like dozens of people appeared from nowhere out of the woods to dry him off, bandage his cuts, call 911, and walk him down the mountain. Luckily, He is now okay. He and his wife don't know who the strangers were, but hope they know just how grateful they are.
I wish I would have names and numbers that I would call every single one.
I said it to them all the way down the mountain, but I can't say it enough. Thank you for the help. I don't think I'd have made it without him.
Now, the Bartlings had to push back their anniversary plans because of the accident, but they say the kind actions of those strangers who helped Mr. Bartling out of the water was the best anniversary gift they could ask for. From Layton, Kate Garner, ABC4 News.
Love that story. Thanks so much, Kate. The Salt Lake Valley Habitat for Humanity dedicating 2 new homes in the Field of Dreams community in Kearns. During that event, Habitat for Humanity CEO handing over the keys to 2 families. The Field of Dreams community has 20 eco-friendly twin homes designed to keep utility and maintenance costs low.
These are super efficient homes. They were designed to only use $1.50 a day in total utilities. We also put in home food production so the families can grow their food and save $60 to $80 a month. So we really look at trying to conserve that paycheck for the families.
All right, Blake saying both families migrated here for a better life and helped to build these homes, continuing to say today's a celebration for them and their home ownership. The next dedication is in 2 weeks for 2 new families.
Okay, it's that time of year that many high schoolers are donning their caps and gowns and graduating. That includes Jordan School District, where we spoke with one student about how much this day means to her after she went through a tough journey to get there.
One Valley High School student says when her father passed away 2 years ago, it became difficult to concentrate on school and she wasn't sure what was next for her. But she says through hard work and support, she's excited to be graduating today.
High school graduation is a time that many seniors look towards with excitement. And for one of them, Luciane Burke at Valley High School, it's coming after a difficult journey. Burke is one of 10 siblings. She says in 2021, her father passed away unexpectedly. And at the time, she wasn't sure if she would finish school.
I contemplated dropping out of school to be with my family because of just how hard it hit me mentally, physically. I couldn't get out of bed every day. It felt like my heart was just ripped out of my chest.
She says she was very close to her father and couldn't imagine a future or graduation without him, but she tried to continue on in his memory.
After he passed, I just remembered what he wanted for us. He was always checking up on us on our grades because he has 3 master's degrees, a bachelor's degree, and he's all about academics.
After his passing, Burke says she transferred to Valley High School, where she got the support she needed, and says she wants to thank the teachers and staff that helped her make it to graduation today, where she gave a speech sharing her emotional journey.
Following today's big celebration, Luciana says she looks forward to continuing her education. Reporting from South Jordan, Kayla Baggerly, ABC4 News.
Thank you, Kayla. Still ahead, Utah lawmakers visit veterans on the Utah Honor Flight in Washington, D.C. What they said about our local veteran service.
Some dark clouds and gusty winds in Tooele County. Live view from Erta. We're tracking the storms as they move west. That changes into tomorrow. I'll break down why and what to expect for the remainder of your work week coming up in Utah's most accurate forecast.